Hello, friends. Welcome. Salo Happy Home. I'm happy to be here with you today on this Monday. I think it's March 23rd, 2026. Beautiful day outside in the great state of Minnesota here in the southern half. And today I wanted to share with you a quick consumer tip. You know, I believe in consumer reporting. I'm very much into consumer reporting. And when I find a product that's either really super good or really super shitty, I want to be sure to tell people about it. You know, back in the old days, you would tell your neighbors about it. You would tell your girlfriends at bridge club, where the guys would talk about it over beers and poker. You know, that's a fine cigar. Oh, this is the best coffee ever. You know, that kind of stuff, right? And even though here in the world of TikTok and YouTube and all this crap, you got to have sponsors, but I still think it's incredibly important to give your reviews and your opinions about products, everyday products that you use around your home for you and your family. And I think it's really important that we tell each other about these things. So occasionally I do put out a report here and there. The last one I put out was a really crappy floss picks that I had. Oh, thank God I'm done with those. But today, Douglas is away from the house today doing errands and stuff in the cities, and everything is getting done there. So I had some extra time on my lunch hour and decided that I would make my weekly batch of super oatmeal. And it's my personal batch of super oatmeal. And what I do is I make up enough for 2 to 4 bowls so that we have a couple of days, but that it stays fresh. Now, I don't add the milk and the fruit and all of that nonsense right in the get-go. I like to leave that because Douglas likes fruit that I don't like, and so on and so forth. So I just make a base. And what I do is I add my oatmeal, and I get the water really, really hot, and I put the oatmeal in a bowl, and I sprinkle a scoop of flax, a scoop of chia, and my secret weapon, which is a dash of cinnamon, and this right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's probably backwards. It's called Spiced Orange by McCormick. It's a limited edition finishing sugar, but it has the nutmeg and the cloves and all of that pumpkin spice flavor to it. You can use a pumpkin spice flavoring of your own or your individual if you want. McCormick does not sponsor me. I am doing this out of my own free will because I love them, and all of the finishing spices and all of the herbs and spices that they have, I typically gravitate toward McCormick. But I used it in a batch of oatmeal a couple of weeks ago, and Douglas just loved it. So I used it again. And what I do is I get the water super hot, and then I put the oatmeal into the hot water with the scoop of flax, scoop of chia, a little splash of cinnamon, and a little splash of that orange finishing sugar. It's got orange in it and nutmeg and cloves and probably a little dash cinnamon in it, so it's really, really good. And then I set this on the counter for about 20 minutes to let it start to soak up, and then I put it in the fridge, and then we've got oatmeal for 2 to 4 days, depending. But I really love a specific type of oat, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I don't know, is this backwards? This is Red Mill rolled oats and Red Mill protein oats. Now what I do is I have a big like canister container, and I get a bag of each, one rolled, old-fashioned rolled whole grain it's called, and the protein oats, and I put them in this canister and I mix them up furiously so they're nice and mixed really well. They are a very, very old company, and their quality cannot be beat. They are flavorful and hearty. And what I love is that they don't get mushy. And if you're like me and you make your super oatmeal and you make it ahead of time, if you don't use a really good quality oat, a really heavy, hearty oat like Irish Oats, for example, or Red Mill here that I love. Of course, they don't sponsor me. I'm saying this out of my own free will, okay? I find that the oats set up and stay up. And what I mean by that is they don't turn to that mushy paste that oatmeal tends to become if it's in the fridge too long or in the bowl too long. And because I make 2 to 4 days ahead of time, it's really important that I use a high quality oat to be sure that this oatmeal stays fresh and hearty, and they stay individual and plump and full of flavor right down to the last bowl, midweek, the end of the week. No mush, no wallpaper paste, for those of you who are old enough to remember wallpaper paste. So yeah, it's important if you're going to do something like I do, making food ahead of time, the right ingredients make the difference. And for me and the super oatmeal, because I'm a super ager and Douglas is a super ager, and I'm trying to pump him full of healthy foods that are super packed with nutrition, I want to be sure that I'm using the best quality products. And for me, Red Mill oats are the best for super oatmeal. And until next time, do good and be good.